people of the world, and welcome to today's episode of Coffee Chats with Jax. So for those of you who don't know, we are currently in the middle of a series on my book, Finding Home, where I talk about what belonging means and how we find our sense of home once we leave our parents' house from growing up and we step into the real world and kind of get thrown into this whirlwind of figuring out who we are and what our identity is and what makes us us and where do we find where we belong and where we fit. This video is going to be about how I found belonging in a career. I moved to California when I was 19 to be a dolphin trainer, which I think a lot of people don't take me seriously when I say that. I think they might think that I'm kidding. Totally not kidding. Went to dolphin camp and everything. It was a real thing. I moved there for that. What ended up happening was that I got offered a job to work in the music industry, which in 19-year-old Jackie's mind, I had never seen or heard of any other opportunity like that for me. I always thought that was for someone else to do, not for me to do, but I craved adventure and I craved excitement, and I thought that having a job where I got to tour around and I got to attend big million subscriber parties because it was a YouTuber and that was a thing, and I guess this is on YouTube, so that's awkward. Anyway, I thought that that was going to give me all the status and worth in the world. I worked for this musician for about a year and a half, and on the outside I painted my life to look like I was having the time of my life. I wanted everyone to think that what I was doing career-wise was really great and really cool. The thing was, I ended up involved in a lot of things in this job that I am not proud of. Things that kind of just wrecked my 19-year-old little heart. There's a lot behind that, but this job was what gave me my identity, and this job was what gave me my worth. And I kept staying around this dude, even though what I was doing was hurting different people in different ways. This job was everything to me. It's what made me think that I was worth it. So fast forwarding about 4 years-ish later, I have another job working for another musician, and this is when I was living in Boston. This was that job. This job also gave me that same kind of like high, that same sense of purpose and belonging and identity, and everything I was doing was wrapped up in that career, and me being able to tell people what I did, tell people, oh, we're just hopping on a train to go to New York City really quick to do this one thing, and the idea of anything outside of that, it scared me because that's where I thought people would think highly of me. It consumed all of me. And what ended up happening with both of those jobs is that the first one I decided to get out of on my own. And when I did get out of that assistant job, I had this moment where I was walking around this mall looking at all the different stores thinking I have to apply, I have to make some kind of money, and I started to have this panic attack thinking all my worth is gone. I lose that job, I lost everything. Then the second job that I had with the girl in Boston, that story is, well, I wrote a book about it, so I mean, there you go. But losing that job also freaked me out in a different way of I felt like I was losing part of myself by losing that job, because I can't tell people now that I tour for a living. I can't tell people now that I'm jumping on a train to New York City to go to this event that my artist is speaking at, or I'm not hanging flyers for this promo show thing, whatever. Long story short, I was looking for my identity in the absolutely wrong place. And I think when we grow up and we get these jobs and careers and whatnot, there's a danger in us doing that, especially living in places like Nashville or LA or even Boston. Like, people get wrapped up in what they do. I got wrapped up in what I did. And so fast forwarding to now, when I was trying to get my book done and published, and my friends kept telling me that it wasn't ready yet, like, wait just a little bit longer, I was scared, because if I'm not able to get this book published and done and out there, then who am I? What do I have to offer the world if I don't have the ability to say I'm an author? Then what would I have? And thinking about that really scared me, because I realized that I want my identity to be so much more than what I do. I want my home, my belonging, to be so much more than that. So that is the second chapter that I talk about in Finding Home. If any of this feels relatable to you at all, or if not, or if you know someone who this might be relatable to, I go into much more detail about that in my book, which you can purchase in the link below. I would love to hear your thoughts on my book, so link below. I love you guys. Thank you for watching these videos every week. Thank you for giving a purpose to me speaking, to actually caring about what I have to say, or else I'm just a girl in front of a camera being really awkwardly vulnerable to myself. Thank you for giving purpose to that. I love you guys, and I'll see you next week.